Good afternoon. Rob Bonta here, California Attorney General. Thanks for joining today. We just wrapped up moments ago with our California DOJ second immigrant rights regional convening. We had one in Los Angeles earlier this week. This is our convening in San Francisco. We have other convenings planned for San Diego, for the Central Valley, for Sacramento, for the Central Coast. And we're grateful that Asian Law Caucus hosted us here with advocates in the immigration space to talk about rights that immigrants enjoy here in California and how to make sure that those rights are known as appropriate under the law, as well as flagging potential scams and fraudulent actions by those trying to take advantage of our immigrants. And we also discussed some of the guidance for our public institutions per SB 54 and other governing law, given the promises from the Trump administration to participate in the largest mass deportations in the history of the United States. So I want to thank all of the participants who participated. I want to thank the elected officials who came and sent representatives, and there were many in the room. We appreciate the partnership and collaboration, opportunity to discuss, and I also want to say thank you to my California Department of Justice Civil Rights Enforcement Section, as well as our Office of Community Awareness, Response, and Engagement, our CARE team, who helped put on the convening. As President-elect Trump and his incoming administration's threats to our immigrant communities continue, as they try to sow seeds of doubt and cast confusion among immigrant communities, I want to make it clear that California DOJ is here as a source of guidance, as a source of reason, as a source of clarity and information. My team and I are here to protect and defend and enforce immigrant rights, regardless of who is in the White House or who controls Congress, just as we did during Trump's first term, when we filed 120 plus lawsuits and won on a vast majority of them. If the president-elect breaks the law, as he has in the past, based on his statements of what he will do, we expect he will again. Unfortunately, we will hold him accountable. We want a law-abiding president who follows the rules, who understands that his position, while one of significant authority, is not unlimited. It is a position of limited power and delineated and enumerated authority, and he must act within it. He did not do that during Trump 1.0. And if he doesn't break the law, there's nothing for us to do. But based on what he's done in the past, if the past is an indicator of the future, based on what he has said he would do, including doing things like trying to end birthright citizenship, a constitutional right, we will hold him accountable when he breaks the law. Of course, we hope he doesn't. It would be better for all of us if we didn't have a president who breaks the law, and we will have nothing to do if he does not break the law. We will go to court and stop him if and when he violates our legal requirements, the Constitution, federal law. We were able to stop him in the past from breaking the law during Trump 1.0, including successfully defending DACA before the Supreme Court when he unlawfully tried to roll it back, including blocking the public charge expansion rule from going into effect, including successfully defending SB 54. We also successfully fought Trump's border wall and saved critical state funding. Why? Because he broke the law. We held him accountable in court, and we were able to stop his unlawful actions. So we've been here before. We're ready to do it again. President-elect Trump's plans for mass deportations and arrests, his claims that he'll deport U.S. citizens and use the military to execute his plans are inhumane, they're illogical, and they are fiscally irresponsible. They go against what this state and what this nation stands for. Immigrants are the backbone of our nation. Immigrants make America great. They make California great. California's diversity is our story. It's our strength. Immigrants are such a critical part of who we are, who we've been, who we have become, who we will be. California is home to nearly 11 million immigrants, 27% of our population, more than any other state in the nation, proudly so. Immigrants who bring in new ideas, innovations, and perspectives, who teach our kids, heal the sick, run flourishing businesses, and lead our communities in untold ways, who enliven our cities with their rich cultures and favorite traditions, immigrants who are our neighbors, our friends, and our loved ones. It's no coincidence that California is the most diverse state in the nation and also the 5th largest economy in the world. They go hand in hand. Immigrants drive California's workforce and economy. 1 in 3 workers in our state are immigrants. Immigrants and children of immigrants make up over half of all California workers. And I don't just say all of this as Attorney General. I say this as someone who was born in another country and came to California. I was born in the Philippines, the son of an immigrant mother who was born and raised in the Philippines and lived in the Philippines until she became a young adult, came to California for the first time when she was 28 years old, took a ship for 3 weeks to arrive here in California where she went to grad school. She met my father, they got married, moved back to my mom's home country of the Philippines. And my sister was born first, then me. And right after I was born, my parents asked themselves if they could raise me in the Philippines at that time and guarantee that I had democracy and freedom, the rule of law, due process, human rights, and civil rights. And their answer was no. A dictator was rising to power. Martial law was months away from being declared, and so my parents brought me to California, seeking opportunity and a better life for me and for us. They were right about what was going to happen in the Philippines. Martial law was declared exactly 1 year from the date of my birth. Democracy was over, free and fair elections gone, human rights violated, political opponents to the dictator were arrested and imprisoned and tortured and killed. And so my parents wanted something different for me. They wanted a place where there was freedom and democracy. And that story is a story told innumerable times from people from all around the world who are fleeing violence, who are fleeing persecution, and come here to this country, seeking freedom, seeking peace, seeking democracy. And my parents also knew that they had to fight for the things that they wanted, so they worked for the United Farm Workers of America, and I watched my mom live as a lawful permanent resident here in the United States until she decided to become a citizen. And I saw her pathway to citizenship. When I ran for my first competitive elected office, my mom came into the room and in the middle of the campaign and told me, babe, I'm going to become a U.S. citizen so I can vote for you. And so I knew from that day I would always have at least one vote in my elections going forward. So she became a U.S. citizen. I was there when she got sworn in during the ceremony, and it was a beautiful thing. And that is the story of immigrants in California and America, told so many times in so many different ways. My story is one of millions in California and across the U.S. We're a land of immigrants. We're better off for it. And unfortunately, not everyone sees it that way. As the President-elect makes clear his intent to move forward with an inhumane and destructive immigration agenda, I'm here to make clear that California's immigrant communities have my support and will continue to have the support of my team at the California Department of Justice. That's what these regional convenings are all about. They're an opportunity for my team to share resources with community members and advocates to listen to their concerns and to discuss our pathways forward. That's why we talked about our Know Your Immigration Rights and provided resources in that regard to help immigrants and their families understand their rights, their protections under the law. For example, the fact that immigrants have the right to access emergency medical care, have the right to a workplace free of harassment and discrimination. Their employers can't threaten to call immigration authorities as retaliation. Immigrants, if they're arrested, have the right to an attorney. Those are just a few. And some of their rights for immigrants, and some include stipulations and exceptions. So I urge folks interested to read the document in full. We also put out guidance on how to spot and avoid immigration-related scams. While there are many great organizations and individuals willing to help immigrant communities, there are also bad actors looking to take advantage of people who are feeling vulnerable, who are feeling isolated. If you need help applying for immigration relief, be careful who you hire. Watch out for scams that could cost your family thousands of dollars or even harm your immigration status. You can get legal aid from a legitimate organization like ones you can find through lawhelpca.org. Don't give your original documents to anyone unless you see proof that the government needs them. And make sure to keep your original documents in a safe place. Do not give money or personal information to anyone who calls or texts or emails you claiming that there's a problem with your immigration matter. No federal or state agency will ever ask for personal information or payment by phone, by email, or by text. So we're not putting this alert out to scare anyone from seeking support. The opposite. We encourage immigrants and their families to get the assistance they need. We just want to make sure that when they do, it's from a safe and secure and vetted resource. So have a look at our guidance. We have it in different languages as well to maximize accessibility. And we know that this all can be overwhelming at times, so we encourage folks who need help to take advantage of free and low-cost assistance. Again, resources at lawhelpca.org, also at immigrationlawhelp.org. So that's just a snippet of what we discussed in today's convening. Really broad-ranging conversation about a lot of issues, and important to have them so folks know their rights, know what the law provides for as we go forward. And it's only the start of what we're planning to provide to communities in the weeks and months ahead. We'll roll out additional guidance, additional resources, so stay tuned for that. We have a additional Office of Care in our California DOJ virtual community briefing on immigrant rights. That's at 11 a.m. on January 10th, so please join us for that. And you can visit oag.ca.gov/care for details. And we continue to be here and available for anyone who has questions or concerns about what the law provides for and what it requires. As we near Inauguration Day, I know that there is a tremendous amount of fear, anxiety, confusion, so I want to assure you California DOJ is here to protect, to defend, and to enforce our state laws and protections, your rights, your protections, our laws. We're here to represent all of California's beautifully diverse communities. As California Attorney General, I am here for you. We've been thinking about you for months as the possibility of this day neared, and now we're here. We continue to think about you, your rights, your freedoms, your protections, the law of the state of California and how it applies given some of the challenges that we're seeing from Washington, D.C. You can be sure that if Trump attacks your rights, attacks your freedoms, I will be there. You can be sure that if you are attacked, I will take action in response. So stay tuned. While we may be entering days and months and years of uncertainty, I find assurance knowing that in California, progress will prevail. We will continue our forward movement. We're not fighting against Trump. We are fighting for California, our values, our people, our progress, our future, and we will continue to do that. California is and will remain the beacon of progress it has long been. A few short words in Spanish. Le pido a los inmigrantes y sus familias que se comuniquen con nuestro equipo. Por favor, revisen la información que estamos publicando. El día de la inauguración ya casi está aquí y sé que hay una enorme cantidad de miedo, ansiedad y confusión. Quiero asegurarles el Departamento de Justicia de California está aquí para proteger, defender y aplicar las leyes y protecciones de nuestro Estado. Representar a todas las comunidades diversas de California. Como fiscal general de California, estoy aquí para ustedes. Pueden estar seguros de que si Trump ataca los derechos de nuestros inmigrantes, tomaré acción. Aunque estemos entrando en días, meses y años de incertidumbre, me tranquiliza saber que el progreso prevalecerá en California. California es y seguirá siendo el faro de progreso que siempre ha sido. And before I end, I just want to thank the members of my team who make all of this possible, our Civil Rights Enforcement section, our CARE team, and we're doing a lot here at the California DOJ. I certainly don't do it alone, only with the benefit, support, talent, and skill of a great team, including some of the following folks I want to just shout out: Albert Lord, Laura Tinajero, Efrain Botello Cisneros, Sarah Farouk, Tong Tao, Ben Nate, Mahina Ahmed, Katnu, Damon Brown. With that, I say thank you for being here and happy to answer any questions.